Okay, let's set the scene. It's 1987 Cairo. You're driving late at night down the autostrade, that long highway connecting Mahdi way down south to Heliopolis up north. It's late, kind of quiet out there.
Yeah, it's mostly just the sound of traffic, that sort of hum. And it's not really near, houses or anything. It's a bit isolated.
Exactly, and that's what makes this so eerie. So there's this driver, Mahmoud, heading home. Long day.
Right, just wants to get home. And then he spots it. A car. Parked on the shoulder. Gold-colored, looks pretty new, just sitting there.
Which is weird enough out there, right? But as he gets closer, slows down a bit, his headlights hit it. And something is very, very wrong.
Seriously wrong. He can't see inside the car at all. Not because it's dark, but because every window, front, back, sides is just smeared, coated.
Was what?
Blood. Thickly, like it'd been painted on, but
Right.
wet. A deep reddish brown. You couldn't see a thing through it.
Oh my God, the sheer amount. You'd immediately think the worst.
Absolutely. Not just an accident, something catastrophic. Mahmoud, he's terrified. Every instinct is probably screaming, drive away.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't. He thinks, what if someone's hurt? Needs help. So he stops his own car, gets out, walks towards this gold car.
Heart must have been pounding.
I can only imagine. He reaches out, pulls open the passenger door.
Right.
It's a nightmare. Just absolute horror. There's a man slumped in the passenger seat. Older guy, maybe 60s.
Is he?
He's dead, but it's the way he died. He's been, well, mutilated isn't too strong a word. Stab wounds. So many stab wounds, it's hard to even comprehend the violence.
Just chaos.
Yeah.
Blood everywhere inside.
Total chaos. Mahmoud apparently just stumbled back, probably screamed. He got back in his car, didn't wait, just drove straight to the nearest police station.
I don't blame him.
No way. So pretty soon, that lonely stretch of autostrad is swarming. Police, forensics teams, the whole setup.
Sealing off the scene.
Exactly. And almost immediately, things start getting strange. Paradoxical, even.
Okay, like what? Let's start with the victim. They ID'd him.
Yes, name was Maher. And the autopsy confirmed the sheer brutality. 61 stab wounds. 61! Think about that. This wasn't quick. This was a frenzy. Sustained, vicious.
That's not just killing someone. That's obliteration.
Precisely. And the concentration of wounds, especially around the heart area, it just screamed rage. Deep personal hatred. Vengeance.
Okay, so intense rage like that usually points to, what? Revenge. Or maybe a robbery gone very, very wrong.
That's what you'd think, especially a robbery. But here's the first big twist. Nothing was taken. Maher's car, this expensive new model, left right there. His wallet, still on him, full of cash.
Wait, 61 stab wounds and they didn't take the money? Or the car?
Nope. All his personal belongings, everything of value, completely untouched.
That changes everything. So it wasn't about money at all.
Doesn't look like it. This immediately shifted the focus. It had to be personal. Someone, or someone's, wanted Maher dead for reasons other than profit.
Okay, so it's personal. The investigators must be thinking, who hated him that much?
Exactly. But the weirdness didn't stop there. The crime scene itself. It wasn't just contained to the car.
What do you mean?
The forensics team found blood outside the car. A trail. Not just drops, like a visible path of blood.
Leading away from the car.
Leading towards it, actually. Stretching back along the road for over 600 meters.
600? That's huge. What does that even mean?
Well, it suggests a massive struggle, possibly starting while the car was still moving slowly or just as it pulled over. But more importantly, that amount of blood over that distance.
It can't be just the victim's blood.
Highly unlikely it was only the victim's. It strongly suggested that at least one of the attackers was also bleeding, significantly. And it also gave immediate weight to the idea of multiple attackers.
Right. Inflicting 61 wounds on a grown man, probably fighting back, inside a car. That's incredibly difficult for one person.
Almost impossible. And the blood spatter inside the car backed that up. It wasn't just on the passenger side.
Where else?
It was on the ceiling, on the driver's seat, even splattered onto the backseat bench.
Okay, so that paints a picture. Maybe attackers from the side and someone in the back, too.
That's exactly what the pattern suggested. A coordinated attack. An ambush, essentially. Planned, not random.
So this wasn't some random roadside violence. This was an execution.
A brutal, personal execution. So the next question is, who was Maher?
Good question. Who was this guy?
Maher was 60, retired from the armed forces, apparently quite high-ranking, but he'd done well since leaving the military.
How so?
Owned a successful car dealership, also heavily involved in buying and selling land, properties, So, a wealthy man.
Okay, so wealth, business dealings.
Yeah.
That opens up possibilities.
Right.
Rivals. Disgruntled associates.
Absolutely. Lots of avenues. He lives in New Cairo in his own building with his wife, his third wife, Nawal.
Third wife. Okay, did she know anything?
When the police went to the apartment, she was already quite agitated. Said Maher had been missing for about a day, which she claimed was very unlike him.
Did she offer any leads? Enemies?
Yeah.
Problems?
Initially, no. She played it very unaware, said she couldn't think of anyone who would want to harm him.
But the police are focusing on personal betrayal now, right?
Yeah.
So they dig into the marriage.
Oh, yeah. And what they found was, well, deeply contradictory. On the surface, incredible trust.
How so?
Maher had given Nawal general power of attorney over everything. His money, his businesses, his properties, everything.
Whoa.
Okay.
Hold on. General power of attorney. That means she could legally access, sell, do whatever she wanted with his assets.
Pretty much. She was his legal proxy. She didn't need his permission day to day. She could have liquidated everything, taken the money, and walked away clean. Legally.
Without needing to,
Yeah.
stab him 61 times.
Exactly. She already had complete financial control, which makes the violence seem even more gratuitous or driven by something else entirely.
So what was the something else? If she had the money, what was the friction?
It seems the conflict wasn't financial, it was emotional.
Good.
Control. Sources suggested Maher, despite trusting her with his wealth, was, well, maybe a bit controlling in other ways, maybe stingy day to day.
Sure.
But the major issue, the one that kept coming up, Nawal had a son from a previous marriage, an adult son in his 20s.
Right.
Maher absolutely forbade her from seeing him. He even, apparently, stopped her from going to her own son's wedding.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And incredibly isolating for her. Think about the resentment that must build. Forbidden from seeing your own child. That kind of anger, it can curdle into something really dark, something maybe money can't fix.
So you've got this potent mix, financial freedom, but deep emotional resentment and control. That's a powder keg.
It really is. But for 4 days, the police were hitting dead ends. They had the scene, the victim, the violence, the money paradox, the wife with the power of attorney, and the simmering resentment. But no solid link. No suspects.
Frustrating. What broke the case?
It wasn't forensics. Initially, it was family. On the 5th day, Maher's eldest son, Majdi, came forward. He lived in the same building, an apartment above his father and Nawal.
And he had information. Why wait 5 days?
He admitted Nawal, his stepmother, had warned him not to talk about something he'd seen, told him his father got mixed up with some bad people, and talking about it would just hurt Maher's reputation.
Yeah.
She was trying to control the narrative.
Okay, classic manipulation. What had Majdi seen?
He'd seen a meeting at the car dealership the day before the murder, a very strange meeting.
Who was there?
Maher, Nawal, and 2 other guys. One was named Alaa. He used to work for Maher.
Used to.
Yeah, Maher had fired him, apparently for being dishonest, causing trouble. And the other guy with Alaa was his friend, Ezzat.
So the victim, his wife, a fired employee known for dishonesty, and the friend. That sounds ominous. What were they meeting about?
Business. Specifically, a piece of land Maher owned. A valuable plot out in Al-Basatan near the Jewish cemetery.
What was so important about this land?
Maher had big plans for it, wanted to build a cement brick factory. He was apparently really invested in this project and did not want to sell the land.
But Alaa and Ezzat were pressuring him to sell it.
Yes, intensely. According to Majdi, they were really laying it on thick. But crucially, so is Nawal.
The wife was pushing him to sell this land he didn't want to sell.
Persistently. Majdi said she was nagging him, working on him alongside Alaa and Ezzat, and eventually, Maher gave in.
He agreed to sell.
He agreed to meet their supposed buyer the next day at a specific coffee shop in an area called El Dorasa.
Okay, this is huge. This connects the wife and these other guys to Maher's movements right before he died.
Exactly. The police jumped on this immediately. They went back to Maher's office, searched his desk.
And found.
Maher had a habit. He drew little maps for everywhere he was going, and they found it, a hand-drawn map to that exact coffee shop in El Dorasa.
Incredible. Physical proof.
Tangible evidence.
Yeah.
So they went straight to the coffee shop, talked to the owner.
Did he remember them?
Oh, yes. He clearly remembered Maher pulling up in his gold Peugeot, remembered him meeting 2 younger men, Alaa and Ezzat.
How long were they there?
Not long at all, less than 10 minutes, the owner said. Just a quick meeting. Then the 3 of them got back into Maher's car and drove off together towards the autostrade.
But who was driving?
This was key. The owner noticed one of the younger men, Alaa, got into the driver's seat. Maher got in the passenger seat, and the other young man, Ezzat, squeezed into the back.
The ambush was set. They were in control of the car from the start.
Precisely. So, armed with this timeline, this route, the map, the witness, they brought Nawal back in.
And confronted her with it.
Yep. She tried to deny it again, denied knowing about any important business meeting. But faced with Majdi's testimony, the map, the coffee shop owner's account, she finally cracked.
She confessed.
She confessed to the plan to sell the land, the meeting she'd pushed for. It all started to unravel.
Which led them straight to Alaa and Ezzat.
Arrested them quickly, and the moment they got them, there was visible evidence, something obvious.
What was it?
Both Alaa and Ezzat had fresh cuts on their arms, big ones, deep lacerations.
Ah, the attacker's blood from the trail.
Looked like it. They immediately claimed they'd gotten hurt in a street fight, totally unrelated.
Right, a convenient coincidence. Did forensics confirm?
Forensics blew their story apart. The criminal lab got blood samples from both Alaa and Ezzat. They compared the blood types to the samples taken from that massive 600-meter blood trail near the car. A perfect match. The blood on the road belonged to them.
Undeniable.
Absolutely. And there was more. Fingerprints. Bloody fingerprints lifted from the outside of the car body.
Let me guess. Alaa and Ezzat.
Matched them exactly. The street fight was a lie. Those injuries happened inside that car during the murder.
So faced with all that, they talked.
They broke. The full confession came out piece by piece, and it all pointed back to one person as the mastermind. Nawal. She orchestrated the whole thing. She had approached Alaa, the disgruntled ex-employee.
What did she offer him?
A fortune. 200,000 Egyptian pounds, which was a huge sum back then, plus a brand new car, and incredibly half ownership of Maher's car dealership.
Half the business.
Yeah.
Just to kill her husband.
That was the deal. Alaa, likely driven by greed and maybe resentment over being fired, agreed. But he knew Maher. Knew he was a big, strong guy.
Couldn't handle him alone.
Right. So he recruited his friend, Ezzat, promised him a chunk of the money to help with the dirty work.
So the plan at the coffee shop.
It was just a pretext. Get Maher in the car, isolate him. Ezzat hid the knife in the back seat. Once they were driving, Alaa gave some kind of signal.
And Ezzat attacked from behind.
Started the stabbing. Then Alaa joined in, turning the knife on his former boss. That's how they inflicted those 61 wounds. That's how they got injured themselves in the process.
Just brutal calculus.
Utterly ruthless. After the murder, they dumped the car, went straight to a clinic, got stitched up, and invented the story about the street brawl.
The betrayal is just staggering, especially from Nawal. He gave her everything financially with that power of attorney.
Complete trust. She could have taken the money, the assets, legally without any violence. And Alaa Maher had employed him, tried to help him at one point. It's layers of betrayal.
Greed, resentment, a lethal combination. They were all sentenced, right?
All three received the death penalty. The evidence was overwhelming, the confessions detailed, the how and the who were crystal clear.
But there's still a piece missing, isn't there?
There is. The deepest why. Specifically, why the extreme violence? Nawal masterminded it. The motive seems clear: get Maher out of the way, maybe stop him interfering with her son, and solidify her control over the assets, even though she technically already had it.
But why demand such brutality? Why 61 stab wounds?
That's the question that hangs over this case. Nawal, even after conviction, even when facing death, refused to explain it. She never revealed the true depth of her hatred, the psychological reason for needing him not just dead, but utterly destroyed.
She took that secret with her.
She did. Why orchestrate such a savage, hands-on murder when a simpler, cleaner method might have achieved the same financial result, especially given her power of attorney? The 61 stab wounds remain the horrifying signature of a motive she never fully disclosed.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? This case, it's a chilling reminder of how betrayal can curdle into extreme, calculated violence. But the unanswered question is terrifying in itself.
Absolutely.
Considering Maher gave Nawal that complete financial freedom, that ultimate sign of trust. Why the overkill? Why the savage, bloody execution? What level of hidden rage, what dark calculation turns absolute trust into that? Leaves you wondering, how well can you ever truly know the secrets hidden inside the people closest to you?